All right.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
good morning. Okay.
Okay.
Good
I'll get
morning,
started.
guys.
Yeah. Good day. Good morning.
Good
Or good
morning, guys.
afternoon.
Or good afternoon. I'm very sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sanika. I'm from Group D, and our research was on Zoom meetings, right? So I'll be starting. All right. So Zoom meetings. Zoom meeting style as Zoom, is more mainly commonly known as Zoom, is a web telephone software program developed by Zoom Video Communication. Zoom was birthed from Eric. He was a college student in China, right? And he was tired of traveling long distance for a class. That's what inspired him to start to develop this software. Um, Zoom was established in 2011. The company headquarters are in California. Is in California, sorry. Um, Zoom, however, have offices in various countries, United States, China, India, just to name a few. Zoom is a free plan, well, some semi-free media outlet where you can join for free. Joining for free, you can support up to 100 different persons on a call, on a one webcam, just like that, just as we're doing now. It lasts for 40 minutes. So each connection made can have 100 participants going up for 40 minutes at the same time. However, if you want it to be more than 100 person allowed, you'll have to pay for that service, which carry up to 1,000 person lasting for 30 minutes, for up to 30 hours. I'm very sorry. So when Eric launched his Zoom software, he later updated it in 2013, which made it more feasible. Now became a video communication method platform. First, it was just, you can have an audio. Then in 2013, it was updated to video, right? Um, Eric was able to master his software by looking at the different X that was provided in SEO and WebEx because he normally worked for them. So he saw the issues that they were having and he capitalized on that, bring the problem solving skills over into onto his software to make it more effective. Zoom employees. Zoom leadership used a streamless approach to exploring and shifting perspective to generate insights for solution. He believed that he can deliver happiness throughout his entire company, not only to his customers, but to his staff across the world. They have over 2,000 employees worldwide. Some of the practices that they have within their team is that the company encouraged employees to consider what made them happy and keep that at the front of their mind. Once you're happy, you're able to produce more. Each new team member are assigned to a mentor who will teach them everything that they need to know about the culture and the vision of the company. So they hold an all hands meeting quarterly in each office to strengthen the connection among team members. Just as the saying, in unity their strength. So that's pretty much their approach that they took. They have a volunteer group called New Crew that organize events, run programs, and think of new ways to thank their co-workers for the work that they're putting in. Finally, they strive to provide a positive community among them. So they do different volunteering, donation to charity, providing discount to educational institution and nonprofit organizations. So that's their way of giving back. Zoom is very big on giving back to the community, and we'll talk about that next. A part of Zoom, they look at their social responsibility. Zoom organization is a family foundation. They promote social change. Zoom also aspires to collaborate with leaders across the world entrepreneur to approach innovation and transformation. So their aim is to continue to grow as they reach outward to help who they can. Part of, well, for Zoom, when you saw them the most in social outreach is during the outbreak of COVID, which we know that it affected everyone. When COVID-19 outbreak began, Zoom developed Zoom Care to assist users. What they did with Zoom Care is that they provide virtual office hours, webinar, and online resources to help users that are now working from home. So a lot of persons were working from home, education was now online. So they provide these additional platform free of cost to aid persons in being able to still connect to through education and professional means. Zoom Care support the global relief operation for COVID-19. Zoom Care has been favorably received by users and has assisted the company in maintaining its market leadership in video conferencing in that period of time, because as we know, Zoom was the most used web communication at that time. We didn't have Teams like we have it now. We did have some others like Google support, but it was not as well known as how Zoom was being used, right? Zoom, and as a result of this, they had more persons coming on board by the different outreach that they were putting out there. They had more persons coming on board and participating a lot more than before, right? This program also highlights growing trends of business employing technology to help social issues and communities. Right?
Yeah,
Sunday?
thank you, Seneka. I will actually, in this presentation, I'll be looking at Zoom before COVID, the early years of Zoom before COVID. Zoom actually, then before COVID, as it was growing, it was more like for specialized business and educational customers. They were actually growing, but there wasn't that too significant when it comes to video conferencing. Its reputation for ease of use and quality has grown its customer base between 2013 and 2019. If you look at the business, it had in 2019, it had over 83,000 business customers on its platform, and it was already having a daily meeting of over 10 million participants in a daily meeting. That's per day. And Zoom had an IPO in 2019. They actually went public in 2019, and they went through the New York Stock Exchange, and they opened for that day. They opened at I think about $34. They opened for $34 and closed at $64 at the end of the day. And if you look at throughout the year of that 2019, they were actually made the most valuable stock on New York Stock Exchange for that year. Next slide.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Zoom had early competitors. Yeah, they had early competitors. They were looking at we're looking at WebEx, Google Workspace, GoToMeeting, etc. These were competitors. What actually made Zoom what made them what brought them out, what separated them from the rest was some factors like cost, simplicity, the meeting features, and security. Now, when you look at cost, Zoom actually, when they started, it was like 25 people for like 20 minutes thereabout, but they now had like 100 participants for 40 minutes, and it's funny because why I'm saying it's funny is that you can actually finish your 40 minutes, now register for a new Zoom meeting and do for another 40 minutes. But if you want a longer hour, you now have to now take some of the Zoom packages. But this was very, very cheap. The cost was very cheap because you can just go online, open a Zoom, open the Zoom website and just create a meeting. Now, when it came to simplicity, it was just one click. You just put one click and immediately you're in a meeting. One click, you've created a breakout room. So it was very simple, and that was actually giving them edge against their competitors. When you look at the meeting features, they had very fantastic meeting features. You understand, and for security, the security for Zoom was high because they actually bought over Keybase. They bought over Keybase, and when they bought over Keybase, it's more like an encryption, that's end-to-end encryption. Let me say cybersecurity company, and they actually they're into cloud where you can store your where you can store on cloud and all that. So they bought over Keybase, and it actually helped to grow their security, and this helped their growth. Next slide. Okay, the initial earnings and prospects. Yeah, Zoom revenue rose from zero to $330 million between 2013 and 2019. This was like huge. They never believed it's going to get up to that. I'm not even talking after COVID. I'm just talking before COVID. And they were looking at a profit after tax, like in 2019, they were looking at over 21 million US dollars. And after 2019 COVID, which I know definitely, Sonapa would actually look at that. They were making, in short, they're making up to billions right now. Now they actually went into partnership with organizations like Dropbox and Salesforce. Now the Salesforce one was like you can be in a Zoom meeting and just bring your files from Salesforce into the Zoom meeting, and this was like a very huge prospect, and it grew. It helped their customer growth. Now, because of Zoom is a well-known brand and easy to use, it will always be a major player when it comes to video conferencing. That's all.
So, starting from where you left off, Zoom's mission statement was actually a really big guiding point for their success. Their mission statement was really simple, and it was to make video communications frictionless. So, in this mission statement, it had a clear focus. Uh, it was very simple, very direct, and easy to understand. It was clearly articulated that companies focus on solving a specific problem, which was to make video communications very easy and very accessible to everyone. So, this clarity in purpose helped Zoom to stay focused on their core mission and avoid distractions that could have hindered its growth. So, another one would be a user centric approach. Zoom's mission statement focused on making video communications easier for users, which helped to differentiate the company from its competitors. This user-friendly, user-centric approach helped attract and retain customers who were looking for a platform that was simple to use and provided a high-quality experience. Most of you have probably used Zoom before within the COVID pandemic area, like period, and probably most of you still remember how easy it was to start a Zoom meeting and how easy it was to uh, like add people to the meeting and to do the recording. And it was really well thought out, really simple. Anyone could learn it. It was really it was a main point of success for Zoom as a company. So, and the COVID pandemic caused many people and businesses to go online. So most of the people were staying home, and they needed some kind of online platform to make their communications easier, to communicate between their colleagues and their friends, their family. Some people were outside of their country, so they all needed some place, some way to communicate between each other. And Zoom Zoom was a really simple way to do that. So they saw the market and they saw the opportunity, and their simple mission statement. They are more simpler way of seeing uh, making communications really accessible to everyone. They Because of that they could focus on the market, and they could gain the market within the COVID pandemic period. And next slide, please. Thank you. So there were many factors that aided video conferencing companies such as Zoom to grow within the pandemic area. Uh, One would be increased demand of remote communication. Like as I said before, when the COVID pandemic hit, most of the world was stopped, like on tracks, and everyone was on lockdown. They were confined to their homes, and even if they were allowed to meet each other, they were told to practice social distancing measures. So it like face-to-face communications wasn't really um, effective as before. So having a simple way of doing like communications was really helpful for many people. So video conferencing became the preferred way of businesses, schools, families to communicate, leading to a surge of demand for platforms such as Zoom. And as I mentioned before, it was very easy to use. It had a simple interface, user-friendly features, and very attractive for anyone who needs to jump on a like a call with a friend or a family, or on a business call. It was really easy. So scalability is another one, and Zoom was able to scale up its infrastructure as the demand grew. They were really quick to adapt into the new demand, and they quickly scaled up their infrastructure according to the demand when the COVID pandemic hit. So they managed to retain most of the customer base that was looking for a way to communicate within the pandemic era itself. And another one was its premium model. Like it was free to access and it was free to make a call, but if you wanted that call to last longer, or if you wanted to have much more features, you would have to pay a small fee. But considering the other competitors and other companies that who offered solutions, it would be so much cheaper than them. So because of these factors, Zoom retained most of their customer base uh, between the COVID pandemic period. And Zoom became such a big brand, and anyone who hears their name, when you hear Zoom, even before you uh, remember something like a camera, you like people like us, we remember Zoom, the conference meeting application, because it was that synonymous between the uh, within the COVID pandemic period. Like everyone was using Zoom before moving on to other platforms. Thank you. Next slides, please. Okay. So as uh, as everyone can probably imagine, COVID period was a really successful period for the company as itself. But company really focused on what their strength was, and they offered people what they needed, and they managed to retain a lot of their customer base even after the uh, COVID era. And although the pandemic has slowed the company's overall growth rate, by the quarter ending April 30th, it regularly had exceeded 1 billion in quarterly revenue 4 times in a row in April 2020, April 30th, 2022. So Zoom had made 4.1 billion in sales in the previous fiscal year, which was a 55% increase from the prior year, which was 2019. So in the current fiscal year, 2022, current meaning at the time of the information that the report was based, it was anticipated to generate 4.5 billion revenue and 1.5 billion in operating profits, making the company grow even more. But it has slowed down on how much the growth rate since the COVID pandemic. But as a great company with a great management structure, and they've really focused on how to retain their customers. So they are still growing, but at a slower pace after the COVID period. So next part would be to you, Hitesh.
Okay, so I'll be taking it from here. Hi, team. Good afternoon. My name is Hitesh, and today I'm going to talk about recommendations on Zoom and the importance of privacy and security when it comes to video conferencing. When we look at the statistics demonstrating the importance of privacy and security in video conferencing, so according to a survey by OneLogin, 71% of the IT professionals believe that video conferencing poses a security risk to their organization. Furthermore, 57% of remote workers have expressed concerns about the privacy of the conversation on video conferencing platforms. As you may know, Zoom has maintained a dominant market share since the beginning of 2018. However, the platform has faced scrutiny for privacy and security issues, particularly in 2022. While Zoom has made the efforts to address these concerns, users are still conscious of the potential risk involved. So there were also rumors circulated suggesting that the personal data of Zoom users were being sold on the dark web, which is a very serious concern, right? So despite facing privacy concern in 2020 and 2021, Zoom still remains the most downloaded app globally according to App Annie. With the market share of 48.7%, Zoom continues to lead the way compared to its competitors like Google Meets and Microsoft Teams. So when we look at this stats, so it shows in comparison between the growth rate of Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft, and there were other softwares as well. Right. However, to remain competitive and maintain its user base, Zoom must work on improving its features and usability to match its competitors. Additionally, addressing privacy and security concerns is crucial for maintaining user trust as well. As in today's date, as we all are aware that data is a most important thing, and we can say that the prioritize the data security is one of the key we can say that the key thing which organizations should undertake. One way Zoom can improve its security is by considering adopting end-to-end encryption by default. When we talk about the current feature, this we have to enable this manually. So these features currently are offered by Google Meet and Teams, which are by default end-to-end, which is an by default end-to-end encryption, which ensures that conversations are only visible to the participants and not to the service providers or any other third party. Moreover, prioritizing user feedback and suggestion is another key factors for improving the platform's usability and addressing the user concerns. So as when we talk about the Zoom strategy, so of course Zoom is more focused on the freemium model, and apart from that, Zoom is also focused on the customer driven design, which means they don't even don't just listen to the customer, they act on it accordingly to create a perfect model. So please next slide, please. Okay. So in conclusion, when we talk about while Zoom has maintained a strong position in the video conferencing market, there are opportunities for improvement also. By improving its features and usability, addressing privacy and security concerns, considering end-to-end encryption by default and prioritizing user feedback. Zoom can maintain its position and keep its users satisfied. Thank you for listening. If anyone has any questions, we are here to answer it.
All right, I think that is it for us, guys. Next team can present. Hello.
Group E now.
I think Group E is next. I think everyone left this meeting and they have joined the Group E link.
I think Group E is going to join, but I think we should have to join only one link, and then we have to post that link on the channel, on the
Yeah,
podcast.
Correct. I think
to
because
my
what they
knowledge,
did is they have
we
created three different links for
Three different
three
links.
different groups, and we have to, join the three different links. I think so. As we are done with Group D, now we have to join the Group E meeting link, and we have to.
That's crazy. It should have been one. It's supposed to be
But we
one
could have
link.
done in that
That's what I
only
said.
one link.
Just
There should be
one.
one link
Yeah,
that we can do it in sequence, like going D group going first,
Absolutely
then E
correct.
But
going
that's what
after.
we
it
agreed
should
to in the
have been
last
just one link.
meeting. So were any of you guys recording for us? No? Who was
Uh,
recording?
Sandeepa has recorded this
Yeah,
meeting. I
I
think
recorded.
you
Stop
can stop
recording.
the recording, and we
Stop the
can
rec-
join the E link, Group E link, and later on
But
we can
that's
go.
not how
That
it going to work. We have to upload only one link on the behalf of the bigger group. We can't post three links.
So wait. Which group are you? The person that is just speaking now. Which group are you?
I'm in group F. I'm in group F.
Please, if group E is not here, let group F. You understand? Let group F just let them
What are the
present
other?
there.
Who are the other persons from Group F? Are
Yeah,
they
so
here?
we can now
Let me
find
just
a way
check
to
it.
chat the group E guys to come into this link.
I'm also
Rovina,
from Group F and I'm here, so I think only
Rovina,
Group E
Rishi.
is not here.
Team, so there is a message in the group. We have to join the Group E presentation
No,
now.
that's crazy. That's ridiculous because that doesn't make any sense.
That
We're
will
I
breaking
create
the
think
three links, my brother. That will create three links. We have to just post only one link.
yeah, professor said one link.
one link
Use
per three
context
teams,
group
right?
E.
One
Chidampa,
link,
are you the one recording? Stop recording, please.
one link for one group. So if your presentation is done, you can leave this meeting and join Group E meeting now.
One group as in A, B, C, D, A, B, C,